there a particular reason why you felt you needed to come through the parking lot like that?
I didn't think I did anything wrong. I just came over to get gas.
You were speeding and you cut through parking spaces. You know you can't do that.
Interest will be confirmed on Robert.
I didn't think I was doing anything, man.
I mean, you
all
walked
I'm doing
around.
is coming to get gas.
Yep. Oh, are we gonna go back and forth, or are you just gonna?
You asked me a question. You want me to answer it or not? I'm not.
Okay.
We're about to witness a clear example of how poor policing tactics lead to unfavorable outcomes for everyone involved.
I'm not gonna go back and forth and all that. I'm not gonna write you tickets, but the only reason I'm not writing you tickets is because I'm out of tickets right now. Okay. Otherwise, you would be receiving a citation.
For what?
Okay.
What did the citation? I'm just curious.
Disregarding traffic control device.
On private property?
Yes.
Okay.
You still can't do that. It's still illegal.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not gonna write you a ticket.
I hear you, man. I understand.
I don't appreciate the attitude. Two, I get it. You're upset. Nobody likes cops pulling up on them. Nobody likes it. Okay, but you know you did wrong. You know you're not supposed to cut through the parking lot. And instead of being like, "Oh yeah, I messed up. Sorry, it won't happen again," you want to sit here and go back and forth with me.
The man's reaction says it all here, as this is exactly what so many say law enforcement officers are trained to do: distance themselves from any sort of responsibility, even when they instigate it, and push it back onto the public, like this officer just did when he said he didn't appreciate the driver's attitude. Too often it seems this is how the system works: comply with whatever law enforcement says and always take their word at face value. But isn't that the definition of a police state?
There's people right now running 90 miles an hour on the thing.
You want to go to jail?
So
you want to go to jail? You could go to jail for this.
you can do what you want to do. I can't stop.
I don't want to take you to jail.
No.
That is definitely a waste of my time. Okay, but the attitude is not necessary.
I agree.
That's on your part, sir. I haven't been rude to you at all. I could also take you to jail for Class B reckless driving.
Okay.
Or Class A reckless driving. Because you did almost hit that car.
I didn't almost hit anybody. I was nowhere near. There's cameras everywhere. You can do what you want to do, Harold. I can't stop you. If you want to be this way, then that's up to you. I'm trying to be a reasonable person.
Are you having a bad day, sir? Is there a reason why you're acting like
I'm
this?
having a bad day because
you're
doing this to me.
Have I raised my voice to you at all, sir? You're the only one who's getting upset.
I'm upset because I think this is ridiculous. I think this whole thing is ridiculous. We're good.
I don't feel like we are. I feel like this is this is a problem.
How is it a problem?
I feel like you're going to continue to commit these behaviors that are unsafe and put people at risk.
So
you don't feel like you did anything wrong.
Something that's possible they may do in the future. So now we're playing Jean-Claude Van Damme future cop, and you need to stop me from something I may do in the future. That's now your position.
A great point here by the driver, as the officer is seemingly trying to manipulate the situation further against that driver, relying on his position of power in the community to take a sort of moral high ground over the upset driver, which is textbook gaslighting, and indeed further heats up this altercation.
Oh, I know you want compliance.
I know
you want voluntary compliance. I know you want voluntary compliance.
Okay, go ahead and put your hands on the back.
Wow.
So the driver is then arrested by the officer, flipping a traffic citation into a full-blown arrest. Now remember, the officer is the one who initially said the offense was worthy of just a citation, all stemming from the officer, in his own words, not appreciating the attitude of the driver.
I cannot believe that you're doing this, dude.
Well, I mean, it didn't have to go this way.
No, it never did. None of this ever needed to happen, I don't believe.
Okay, well, I disagree with you.
Okay, I know.
I'm going to ask one more time, and then I'm going to have to have a toast.
Can we back this down, dude? Can we cool off here, please? I'm sorry, I will.
You have forced my hand at this point.
I will.
Because if I don't go and see this through to its conclusion, I know you're going to go to the police department and file a complaint on me. Now, the complaint's not going to do anything because I have it all on video. Everything is recorded. I don't talk to anyone in the public unless I have my camera on, okay?
I'm not going to go complain to Carol at all. I'm just a little upset because I really, honestly...
Sir, I watched it happen. I was working on a report. I definitely have better things to do.
I didn't think that I did anything, Harold. I didn't think I did anything.
Well,
and it was very
frustrating. People don't think that.
After having the driver call his wife, humiliating, to pick up his car now that he's been formally arrested, another officer arrives on scene where we hear exactly why this fiasco occurred in the first place.
And he came through the parking lot and cut through all the spaces. And he came through so fast and whooped into here, and there was a white truck. The white truck had to slam on its brakes. So I come over here. I was just gonna be like, hey man,
Chill out.
like chill out, don't be like that. But he wanted to go back and forth and argue with me and give me all kinds of stuff. And like, I didn't have any tickets and I didn't grab a rider this morning. So I was like, man, look, it didn't have to go this way. He kept going back and forth, back and forth. So I was like, all right, let's go. But he kept wanting to go back and forth and argue. And I was like, if I had a ticket book, I'd have just written him a ticket.
Then we hear the arresting officer admit that he would have just given the driver a ticket if he didn't contest the officer's opinion. So forget accountability. Now the standard is don't even question an officer's absolute authority.
So the other officer has a ticket book he's gonna let me use. You're gonna be receiving the citation, okay? And because I think going to jail is a bit excessive. But, well, I agree with you. But I didn't have another option. I don't have another ticket book, and I don't have a ticket writer with me. So we're gonna do it that way, okay? Step out for me.
The driver is then given the ticket he was promised and avoids going to jail. But this is not the end of this case. According to Law and Crime's description of the encounter, the driver, Christopher Scholl, told the network that the citation was dismissed altogether while the officer, Scott Harrell, remains under investigation. As seen here in this statement released by Texas City Police Chief Joe Stanton, where he announced that the situation would be subjected to an internal affairs investigation, while also stating that Harrell has now been placed on desk duty until the investigation is complete. In an interview with local media station KPRC2 Houston, Scholl told reporter Bryce Newberry that he thought the officer couldn't give him a ticket since he was technically on private property, adding another layer to the legality of the stop occurring in the first place. Scholl also admitted to KPRC2 that although he is pro-police, he's questioning Officer Harrell's past behavior since he joined the force back in 2018, saying, quote, "I can only imagine how this guy treats people when he really has something on them." And we would certainly welcome the release of more footage, if it even exists,